is this guy, hey, I'm just so anti-establishment, I'm going to burn it all down when there's Black Lives Matter rally guy, and I'm going to burn it all down when there's J6 type guys? Or is this what I think a lot of the right-wingers were more suspicious of initially after January 6th, that this is somebody who's trying to make the pro-Trump movement look bad by instigating all of them to do something that then could be spun as like, yeah, look how horrible the pro-Trump people are?
Could be both, because if Black Lives Matter was disavowing this guy before the January 6th thing even went off, he might have been kill two birds with one stone situation where he's like, yo, I can F the government and I can get all these people thrown in jail and get them to commit crimes, and then I can do away with two. Well, who knows? He just sounds like a radical that went too far.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but prior to January of 2021, the left was not shy about openly embracing insurrectionist rhetoric. I remember during the BLM riots, there were left-wingers who were saying all these right-wing hypocrites spent years saying they have the Second Amendment to rebel against tyranny and overthrow the U.S. government, and now that the government is just indiscriminately killing unarmed black people, which is of course a lie, but that's what they were saying, these right-wingers won't rise up against this state. And then as soon as January 6th, 2021 happens, oh my gosh, insurrection's the most serious problem in this country, and we need to call these people traitors and throw them in prison. So it wouldn't surprise me that you actually might have a left-wing activist saying, yeah, I'll join with these right-wingers, try to overthrow the government, or try to instigate right-wingers to overthrow the government.
I want to crank this thing all the way up to 11 right now, if I may, and just say Civil War. All right, everybody's been waiting. I haven't said it in a few months, so I feel like it's due. But no, let me explain. I don't literally mean to say Civil War, but I'd like for you guys to give me your thoughts on. The other day, we saw David DePape testify. This is the guy who attacked Paul Pelosi. In his testimony, he claimed that he was a leftist who was radicalized by right-wing conspiracy theories watching YouTube. Of that, he included me, Glenn Beck, James Lindsay. Dinesh D'Souza made a good point that this is a narrative where they go to them and say, they go to these people who are being charged, like the J6ers, and say, blame Trump, blame the right, and do this. I think there's a really simple reason why that's the case. You're in San Francisco. You are in the bluest of blue, and the defense says to you, listen, you will not win because you attacked Paul Pelosi. However, the best sympathy you will get is if you claimed you were radicalized by the far right and that you, oh no, what have they done to me? It's the evil right that did it. Try and earn some sympathy in that way. The reason why they're arguing this guy in a federal case in DC is anti-establishment and not far left, once again, is for that exact same reason. Now, what happens is you are getting through these high profile cases in San Francisco. I'm seeing these people post saying, oh, look, James Lindsay, timpool, Glenn Beck, oh, they radicalized this guy. It's a lie. It's nonsense. But it's creating that terrifying boogeyman. It's creating that bifurcation. If prosecutors in high profile cases are they going to keep playing this narrative of Donald Trump is radicalizing people to extremes, anytime someone commits some kind of extreme act, even a BLM supporter, they're going to blame the far right or the quote unquote far right. They're creating a narrative that young people who are entering the political space will believe we live in this world. So real quick, as an example.
It's a really interesting point that you bring up. Can I just say, like, because I think that's such a good point and such an interesting thing to focus on. Because like as a libertarian, one of the things that we talk about a lot is that, like, look, we don't think government should be in the business of kind of micromanaging culture and things like this. But you also recognize that you need other forces, like you need kind of a virtuous culture in order for that to work. And I think one of the things I've been thinking this a lot, like since all these insane indictments have been coming down against Donald Trump, when you look at like kind of the landscape of current day America, you go, how could a guy like Donald Trump ever get a fair trial? I mean, if you have a jury trial with Donald Trump, whoever the jury pool is, it's like a 50-50 shot that they either think he is Jesus or Satan. And how could anyone who has either one of those opinions ever be an honest juror? And I think kind of the point you're making here is that, like, look, in the reality today of a modern jury trial with the polarization of the country and this white hot culture war, you almost, if you're on trial in San Francisco, it's almost like the only way to tailor your defense is to try to have it something that hugs a left-wing sympathy.